all the high mountains were covered.
Yes.
Was that, we know that Mount Everest is the highest mountain. Are you telling me that Mount Everest was covered in water, that the water was that deep that Everest, if so, then I have other questions.
Right. Okay, so let's, was Everest covered with water? Yes, kind of.
Now you sound like you're wishy-washy.
Let me explain. I'm not trying to dodge it. There are marine fossils at the summit of Mount Everest, like fish fossils. And how did they get there? Fish don't climb mountains, right? What's going on there? Everest and the whole Himalayan mountain range, and many of the mountain ranges we have today are the result of processes that happened during the flood. Bible-believing geophysicists believe there was one continent originally that broke up rapidly during the flood. Actually, that's a large-scale geologic feature. The continents have this jigsaw puzzle-like fit. So no Atlantic Ocean before the flood, and the continent broke up rapidly during the flood. And then late in the flood, you have India coming up against Asia. Guess what happens when they collide? Smash! You push up the Himalayan mountain chain, including Everest. Now, Everest right now is 5.5 miles above sea level.
Right.
And so that's how those fish fossils got 5.5 miles above sea level.
Because they weren't there at the time of the fossilization.
Right.
Okay.
There was a point in the history of the earth at the time of Noah where every single piece of land was covered with water. And that would have included Everest, but Everest wasn't 5.5 miles tall as it is today. It was under the ocean. And then work has been done on, you've heard of continental drift. That's what we all get taught, the slow and gradual version of catastrophic plate tectonics, the biblical version. And is there enough energy there? This is the question. Is there enough energy there at that slow speed to produce the Himalayan mountain chain? And the answer is no. You need to smash those plates together at a higher rate of speed to get the energy to push up that mountain chain. So does that answer your question about Noah's flood?
Yes.
About covering Everest? Yes.
To make sure I understand, at the beginning, day one of the rain, according to the biblical account, that there was a lot of activity more than just rain falling down.
Yes.
So at some point during the flood, the 40 days of the rain coming down, the fountains of the deep opening, that there was that catastrophic plate tectonics that was going on that was causing that shifting. And then that's kind of when the mountains came as a part of the flood. Is that correct?
That's toward the end of the flood. That's late flood.
How do we know that?
Because the flood would have covered that area at first, where India
because that's where
hit
that's
Asia.
How we have the fossils.
There's fossils there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have the flood waters covering that, and then it takes some time during the flood for India to go up and smash into Asia. That would have been late in the flood. So
it could have been after the 40 days, but during the time that the water was still there and
yes. Probably quite a while after the 40 days. The waters continued to rise for 150 days. That's 5 months.
Right, and that's the distinction that, a lot of times people think it was just 40 days of rain, which is a lot of rain.
Yes, it is. But it was way more than that. Yeah, that's the kind of the Sunday school perception of it, 40 days and 40 nights of rain. But just keep reading in Genesis there. The floodwaters continue to rise for 150 days. And then
that's going to affect the whole globe, everywhere,
yes.
if you have that much water for that long.
Yes, global flood. Yeah.
This has been such an exciting kind of fun time for you and I to sit down here and talk and have this conversation. But if somebody wants to know more scientific evidence, more reasons that there was a global flood, what's the one? We've talked about 5 reasons, but what's the one resource you would recommend? Just one. I'm going to limit you to one.
Okay, one resource that covers many areas. I would say get a hold of Biblical Geology 101.
And that's by
Robert Carter and Mike Ord.
Okay.
And one of a couple of scientists that work for us, and it's a fantastic book. It's not just a geology book. Biblical Geology 101. Geology books are a dime a dozen. What makes this one different is it teaches you how to see the world from a biblical perspective. It starts from a position of truth to understand the world around us, to understand reality properly. It trains you how to see the world, the Earth's geologic features, from a recent creation and a global flood. That's the truth about history, and it teaches you how to see that. And obviously it brings in as well the refutation of the notion of millions of years. So it's a fantastic resource.
Well, Richard, this has been so much fun. Thank you for being with us, and we will make more information about Biblical Geology 101 available in the description.
Excellent.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.